Hello guys, it's me Jamie. Welcome back to another video. So I'm sorry that I haven't been uploading a lot recently. It's just because I've been really busy, but in some more exciting life news, I have found a house to live in. I found a flat to live in. I have 6 roommates, so it's gonna be intense. Like, I'm gonna be living with a lot of people, but we are moving in next weekend. So yeah, expect some really cute kind of like content all about moving. Like, you know, I'm gonna be unhauling some books, I'm gonna be setting up my room, I'm gonna be doing all that sort of stuff, so that's really exciting. But for now, today I am bringing you my February wrap up, so the books that I read in February. I have 6 books to talk about, so let's just get straight into it. So the first book that I read in February was actually a DNF. It was The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I think I actually talked about this in a reading vlog, but basically this book is a romance novel. It's all set at this like Disneyland style theme park. The romance is between a woman who works there and then a guy who is like inheriting the park essentially from his granddad. I DNF'd this at the 50% mark just because I found it quite boring, and there were also some things that I just couldn't really abide. It is supposed to be like an enemies to lovers moment, but I just really hated the guy a lot. I have a really big ick for really rich men who are also assholes, and they're like really young and they just don't understand struggle. I couldn't deal with him. He was just really awful. And what also happened towards the like 50% mark, which is around the time that I DNF'd, is that our male main character started like catfishing our female main character by like texting her pretending to be like a friend of his or something, and then he was like way nicer over text, but when they see each other in person he would just be like an asshole to her. And I don't really like a relationship that is built on lies and deceit, so the fact that he was catfishing her, and then obviously it's a romance novel, so it's going to be a happy ending at the end, like I don't really want to see her forgive him because I just think that's really gross. So yeah, I just didn't like that the relationship was like going to be built on that sort of stuff and getting to know each other while she completely had the wool pulled over her eyes. And yeah, I also just found the writing style to be nothing really that special, the characters not really to be that special, so I did end up DNFing this one, and I don't think I will pick up, I don't know, the books coming out in the rest of the series. I know everyone's really excited for like the next book in the series, but yeah, not for me. However, a romance book that is for me is the second book that I read in February, which was Ricochet by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the second book in the Addicted/Calloway Sisters series. This book I rated 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this. I think I've talked about this series enough on my channel at this stage. Like, I just really like this series. I really love our main characters, Lo and, oh my god, what's her name? Obviously I love the book that much that I can't even remember her name. Lily. Lo and Lily. I love them so much. Well, I'm not going to talk a lot about what happens in the second book because I don't want to spoil the first one, but essentially we follow our 2 main characters, Lo and Lily. They were childhood best friends. They both come from like really rich families, which I know kind of contradicts what I just said about the fine print, but we ignore that because I love them so much. And they're not assholes. They're not assholes. They're nice. But basically in the first book, like, they started they were fake dating because they both had addictions to different things and they needed to hide their addictions and their lifestyle from the rest of their family. So they end up fake dating and then real dating, obviously, in the first book. And so this book kind of just covers the aftermath of everything that happened in the previous novel. There was one aspect of it that I thought might hinder other people's reading experience, but for me, I don't really go into romance needing to see heaps of smutty scenes, needing to see the characters do all these romantic things together. I personally, for this novel, just really loved the characters' individual journeys, and this book was really good at giving me that, so I really enjoyed it. And I really loved the character development, especially Lo's. Even though we didn't see a lot of him, I really liked kind of seeing his journey and hearing about it through Lily's eyes and stuff like that. So yeah, really like this book. 4 out of 5 stars. I cannot wait to read the rest of the series. After that, I read The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. I read this in my most recent vlog. I read it in a reading vlog. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I just genuinely love this series so much. Like, I think the Cruel Prince series, the Folk of the Air trilogy, is probably like one of the best fantasy series, like YA fantasy series, that we have had in recent years. I just really love it. This was so good. I just think that Jude is one of the best characters in the world. I just feel like I'm really preaching to the choir when I talk about this, however, because I feel like everyone's read it and everyone's love it. I genuinely don't know anyone who like doesn't like this series, straight up. Like, tell me someone who doesn't like this series. If you don't like this series, literally comment below that you don't like it, like, and give me your reasoning, because I just think If you like the fantasy genre, this is just excellent YA fantasy. Like, I just love it so much. It's not trying too hard, it just is what it is. I don't even know how to explain this in the correct way, but I just really loved it. And if you want to hear more thoughts as I was like reading it, I would recommend watching my most recent reading vlog. It'll be the like previous video on this channel. But yeah, I love it. The other book that I read in that reading vlog was A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. I ended up giving this 2 out of 5 stars, and I think it's purely just because it wasn't what I expected. It is a certain kind of trope or subgenre, I guess, that is just something that I don't enjoy reading about. And I think that's really important to note going in. I'm not sure if it's even a spoiler to like say what it is, but I probably just won't to err on the side of caution. But basically this book is about 2 like childhood friends. They are like each other's first kiss, first relationship, first love. But then when they're 15, our male main character gets like moves to, I think, Iceland, or where is he from? He's from somewhere like, maybe he's from Russia. I can't remember. He has to move back to his hometown after like falling in love with this girl, and then while he's over there for 2 years, the girl just cuts off contact with him completely, and he's very confused because he thought they were going to be in love. And then 2 years later he like comes back and he finds out why she cut off contact with him, and it's basically their journey trying to repair their relationship and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I wasn't sure about it, eh? Like, I know it is for a younger audience, so I know that I'm not the target audience here, and I know that it's like not for me. But even saying that though, there were so many lines where our male main character, like, he put this girl on a pedestal so much, and he called other girls like sluts, whores, bimbos, stuff like that, and I'm just like, ooh, that's just a bit nasty, and that's not really something that I would want, you know, the younger generation to be reading personally. I just felt like the entire story was incredibly repetitive. Like, I felt like I was reading the same scene in the same conversation, I think like 5 times over. I think there were so many like scenes and conversations that just happened over and over, and it's like, I kind of get it. Like, this doesn't need to be like 350 pages. It could have been 200 because of the amount of like things that I just saw over and over again. I didn't really care for the characters at all. I just didn't really like it, and I didn't shed a single tear, which is unfortunate because I know that everyone finds it very heartbreaking. I just wasn't that girl. So yeah, I didn't love it, but it's an easy read. I obviously read it in one sitting because I did it for that vlog. But yeah, I think I also get like way more into it in my vlog as well. So sorry for just like plugging my own videos constantly, but I don't want to repeat myself, you know, so just like go watch the vlog, it's fine. After that, I finally finished The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I swear to God, I read this throughout the entirety of February. Like, I swear to God, it took me the entire month to finish. But this is an adult horror book by one of my favorite horror authors. I just think Grady Hendrix's writing style is very, very unique. I really like him. And also, look at him. Look at him. He's just a sweet little nerd. I actually love him. Like, he's kind of an icon for that. But yeah, I read this. This is basically about a group of girls. They are final girls. We follow our main character, Lynette. Yeah, they're all final girls and have like this final girl support group, literally what the title says. Lynette, our main character, is very neurotic, very, very anxious, very paranoid, and she believes that there is someone who is going to try and wipe out the rest of the final girls. I found it to be really interesting. Like, I really liked it at the beginning. I felt like it was a really cool study and like almost piss take of the final girl genre and the final girl trope. I felt like it was very meta, it was very tongue-in-cheek, but then towards the end I just felt like it was kind of boring, and I felt like I was reading like 3 different books at once. I really couldn't follow the story. It was very difficult to follow the story, and I don't know if it was because we were kind of with our main character who was a very like all over the place person. If that was a stylistic choice, sure, but that didn't mean that I wanted to like invest in it for so long. I really like the idea, but I think if you are going to read a story about final girls and final girls being killed off, just read the book Final Girls by Riley Sager. I didn't even really know what genre this was. Like, it was supposed to be horror, but then like I guess it was also trying to be thriller. Like, I genuinely don't know. It was a really interesting idea, and I could kind of see what Grady Hendrix was doing with it, but I just don't think the execution was all that I was anticipating, I guess, and maybe that's on me. Maybe I just had too high expectations. But yeah, it was kind of a disappointing read. I ended up giving it 2 stars, but still glad that I read it, and there were aspects of it that I thought were cool. I'm a very professional reviewer, I know, it's very articulate. And then the final book that I read in February was a romance. and it was called Written in the Stars by Alexandria Bellefleur. This was a sapphic lesbian romance. I loved it so much. I rated this 4 out of 5 stars. This was like enemies to lovers fake dating, first of all, between two women. We follow our main characters, Elle and Darcy. They are like complete opposites. Elle, first of all, is an astrologer. We love her for that. Her entire job is running a very successful astrology meme page, like talk about dream job. And then Darcy is like quite uptight, but Darcy also has had like a bit of baggage, a bit of a rough history when it comes to romance. So she's really like, no, I don't believe in love, blah blah blah, whereas Elle is like believes in soulmates and stuff like that. So they have to fake date because Darcy wants to try and get her brother like off her case about setting her up with dates and stuff, and Elle wants to like take someone to her like parents, like her family, like Thanksgiving and Christmas events, so they can kind of get off her case about being like a failure, because they don't really believe in her job and any of that sort of stuff. So yeah, we kind of just watch Elle and Darcy going on these fake dates and fall in love. It's the standard fake dating trope, but I really liked it. I loved the two main characters so much, and I believed in their attraction and I believed in their chemistry 100%. They were just so good and so well fleshed out. I also loved Darcy as well, learning about her, like coming to terms with, you know, her history and trying to overcome like past emotional trauma that she had been through when it came to relationships and dating and stuff like that. I thought it was so good, and I really recommend this. I think people need to read more sapphic romances anyway, personally. Like, I just loved this. I thought it was so good, and I know that Alexandria Bellefleur has other sapphic romance books which I'm very, very interested in checking out, so she's definitely going to be an author to watch for me. I just thought this was really good. This is really good. It's a really good romance, and definitely going to be like at the top of my romance recommendations now. But yeah. So those are all the books that I read in February. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it has been a short one, but I've just been so busy. I am doing a reading vlog currently as well though, so hopefully you guys will have more content from me soon. And I'm going to be doing so many like moving videos, I guess. So yeah, if you're into that as well, keep an eye out. But yeah, thanks again so much for watching. A reminder that all my socials are linked down below. I have been on Twitch quite often, so if you have been missing me, if you do want to chat, I will be there. But yeah, again guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely day or night, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye! Bye!
But she said, Cindy, don't cry, and I don't